Beyond the pages.
Beyond the pages.
Hello and welcome to another impactful episode of Beyond the Pages podcast. This podcast is where we talk about educational topics, we talk about literature, we talk about ideas behind books and the authors behind the books that we read every day. My name is Uchechukwu Judith Nwafor, and today's episode is the one that I'm very excited to bring to you because we have two wonderful guests in our midst today. The first is Uwem Akpan. He's a renowned author of Say You Are One of Them, a collection of 5 stories, and also he's a Commonwealth Writers Prize winner, and he is also the author of New York, My Village. So we are very honored to have him in our midst today.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you for honoring our invitation, for being in our midst. So with him also is Anote, Ajeluorou. The author of Brides of the Infidel. We are very opportuned. We are very pleased to have you in our midst today.
Thank you so.
Yeah, welcome both to Beyond the Pages podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Some of your books, you've written about Biafra. War.
Yeah.
Okay, why did you choose to write about war? And I also noticed that you wrote from the eye of children. Like you write from children's view. Like why did you decide to write about the Biafran War?
Yes, my first book was from the perspective of children.
Okay.
And that book is Say You're One of Them, a collection of short stories.
Okay.
The second book is a full-fledged novel, New York, My Village. And a big part of the book is about the Biafran War from the perspective of the minorities of the Niger Delta.
Okay.
You Igbos were the majority ethnic group in Biafra. And I'm sure you know many Igbo writers have written about your own experience.
Yes.
You know, Chinua Achebe, Chimamanda Adichie, Cyprian Ikwensi, so many, including my friend Chinelo Paranta. So many have written about. So there is not much coming from the other side, the minorities.
Okay.
And if you look at the map, in today's Nigeria, the minorities are in Cross River State, Akwa Ibom State, Rivers State, and Bayelsa State. Okay. Not much is known about our experience of the war.
Okay.
So I wanted, to tell the Biafran story from our own perspective. What happened to us? Minorities always suffer.
Yes.
The Igbos were the majority. They dominated Biafra. They were running away from Nigeria. The idea was that Nigeria was a bad place. Let's go and establish Biafra where we would have peace. It did not quite turn out that way. Biafra was full of terror. But that's not how it's been presented. It's been presented as a paradise so good that we want it, or the Igbos want it back. Okay. If you notice, 30th of May is Biafra Day.
Yes.
Yeah. And the Igbos are so into it. Nobody in minority land cares. So that should tell you something. Every Monday, as we speak, the Igbos stay at home. Nobody in minority lands does that. Because Biafra was evil to us. I use again, evil. What they did to the minorities of the Niger Delta is worse than what Nigeria did to the Igbos. You see, it's shocking you on your face now. So that's why I'm writing.
Do you mean what the Igbos did to the minority?
Igbo dominated Biafra.
Yes.
The power balance lay with them. So what they did to the minorities of the Niger Delta, massacre. So while some of our people joined freely, I repeat, some joined freely, most of them were compelled, forced, to join. If you didn't, they killed you. These are news stories.
Yeah. If you didn't, they will kill you.
Yes, if
joining Biafra.
Yes, if they wanted
it. Because of the language, because some people in the South, as we call them today, they also speak Igbo. And their location is also very close to Igbo. I thought it's because of their location and their language, and also their origin too. Like some of them are actually rooted in Igbo. They have some ancestral...
I'm not an Igbo person. There's nothing about me that is Igbo, and yet I share a border. My Anang land shares a border with Igbo land. Ibibio land shares a border with Igbo land. The minorities in the Port Harcourt area, they share a border with Igbo land. I'm telling you, there was a lot of discrimination, and we were minorities. Okay, now you are hearing of the new Biafra. A lot of people want to bring it back.
Yes.
Okay. No, they have put our ethnic groups on that map. Nobody has spoken to us. Do you find that acceptable in a country like this? That you'd go and form some crazy country with the name of the minority tribes on the map without talking to them? So it's a very bad thing to happen. So this is why I wrote the book. I'm sorry it's shocking you, but you can see this kind of book will be needed for people to understand what is happening in this, in this country. Before the war, there was a genocide, and the Igbos were killed in the north, in the west. I'm sure you know that part.
Yes.
So 1966.
That's the popular part.
Yeah. So they ran back. What you don't know is that 1/3 of those who were killed were minorities.
Yes.
Okay. And we ran back to eastern Nigeria. We ran back to what became Biafra.
Okay.
But we had no peace. And to make matters worse for the Igbos, on the 27th of May, 1967,
okay,
General Gawan created what is now Cross River and River State. Minority states. If you know your country's map, these are the riverine areas. So that locked the Igbos in. So now that we have our freedom for the first time from our dear Igbos, we were very excited to have our state to run our affairs. 3 days later, Ojukwu declared Biafra and said, you could not be free. If you want to know the real reason, the oil of the Niger Delta, this minority oil. So the Nigeria was fighting for the oil. Biafra was fighting for the oil. Whose oil were you all fighting about? It's my oil. It's our oil. So we were like the grass.
And two elephants were fighting.
We were fighting over this. So this is a story that has never been really told. I see some tears in your eyes when you read the book.
Those ones will come out.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, let's say I've read the other parts, as you said, the majority, the one written by the majority.
Yeah.
So I will also try and read this one too.
Yes, thank you very much.
Yes, from your side too. So I don't know if you have any other things.
Yes, please. Mr. Akpan, since this is an educational podcast,
yes,
I would like to take my question from that angle, also based on your book, New York, My Village. And to say that since the war ended over 50 years ago, there is official silence about the war. So much so that it is not taught in schools as part of our national, can call it heritage or accident of history, as it were. What do you think accounts for this official silence about the war?
Okay, very good question. Nigeria, as you've said, does not want to talk about the war. The Igbos love to talk about the war until my book came out. So, when Nigeria came in, they also committed a lot of atrocities. So they don't want people to talk about this pain. So the government believes we could hide a war and just pretend that nothing happened. Yeah. But when you do this, it festers because there's a lot of anger. And Rwanda had its own war.
I was going to come to that.
Yeah. They've spoken about it. openly. And they've recovered because now people have a sense of belonging. This is our country. We made a mistake. Let's move forward. Nigeria has not been able to do this. One good thing, at least one good thing, President Tinubu has done is to allow the teaching of history in schools. He has said history would now be taught in school. That opens that door. How far we want to go with this is something else. Because the minorities of the Niger Delta will have a lot to say. They'll talk about what Biafra did to them. They'll also talk about what Nigeria did to them. But it's a conversation we need to have. So it's basically fear that if we opened all these wounds, we might start fighting again. But I think that is wrong. Many countries have had to handle this. In the US, they had a civil war.
Right.
South versus North. The South wanted slavery to continue.
Yeah.
The North did not want slavery to continue. So, luckily, for our sake, black people, the North
won.
And they have talked about this a lot. So they're able to operate as a country. So we need to do that, in Nigeria. We need to do that. And look, you have finished college, like the rest of you here. You have your graduate degrees, but you don't really know what happened in this war. If I ask you now how many ethnic groups are in Nigeria, you wouldn't know. I don't know. Nobody knows.
You just estimate.
Which
is not good.
So whenever I travel, people say, Uwem Akpan is say, let him talk about Africa. They want me to give a speech about Africa.
Okay.
Look, I don't even know my country. We say, if you tell me now, what are the tribes, the ethnic groups in northern Nigeria? When I say Hausa, Fulani, Kanuri, Nupe,
that's all. But there's so many more, so much more.
Yeah. You come to my Niger Delta, I'm still discovering some now. So we have not found that basis for unity. What do the people of northern Nigeria eat? Do you know? You have to That's all I know. So there's a lot we can do. Right now we know there's oil in the Niger Delta, but do you know that there are so many minerals all over this country?
Yeah.
So many minerals, deposits. Part of the reason Zamfara is always boiling over is they have gold. They're stealing gold. Nobody talks about.
Okay, so a follow-up to this question would be from your two books, which in a sense are also related. The title story for your collection of short stories, Sira, one of them, is based on Rwanda, the Rwandan genocide.
Yeah.
Which, as a country, have been sensible enough to confront the war, the tragedy that hit them, and speak about it amongst themselves, and then they reconcile. And the country is on ascendancy in terms of development.
Yeah.
But here, in over 50 years, we've kept silent about what happened to us, and we have remained undeveloped. As a result.
Yeah.
So, is there a correlation with this, with what happened in Rwanda and what is happening here, development-wise? Do you think?
Yes, because it's like a family. The day you sit together and talk and argue, and people feel, the children, the husband, the wife feel hurt, it's easy to come back home and have peace. Otherwise, people just come back home to sleep and live in the morning.
It becomes a house, not a home.
Yeah, it becomes a house and not a home.
So we're a country and not a nation.
Yes, we are not.
Result.
We are not a nation. We should work even harder, because Rwanda is very Christian, if not a few Muslim, but it's a lot of majority Christian. So now that we have 500, 400 ethnic groups, 2 major religions that have done everything to crush the traditional religion or religions. So we actually have 2 huge, humongous religious bodies who are trampling on the native religions, destroying them. And these are foreign religions. Okay. How do we operate as a nation? The Northerners, it might sound like a stereotype.
Okay.
They want to marry very young girls. Okay, so they have not codified. Is it the policy or the law to say you cannot marry girls who are 12 underage? Yeah, you got it, children. So in the South, it's different. The people would still, some people would want to do it, but now people look at you like, what are you doing? Exactly. So do you see that kind of division? We need to come together and realize that without the development of the girl child, Northern Nigeria is not going anywhere.
Okay, but when you talk about marrying underage in the Northern Nigeria, I used to think it's a Sharia law thing.
We are trying to build a country. See, we're trying to build a nation.
Have 2 laws.
Yeah.
Country.
Yeah. So, excuse me, the girls of Northern Nigeria, believe you me, they would want to go to school.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. See how heavy that is.
Those who have opportunity are excelling.
They want to go to school. There's no reason to start giving birth at age 13 and
having VVF.
And all of that. So the country,
I guess we should pause, right?
No,
okay. Okay, fine. All right.
If we want to develop, I'm just using this as an example.
Yeah.
Okay. So I give you another example. In Akwa Ibom State, my own state,
okay,
and Cross River State, there was this thing about killing the so-called child witches.
Oh yes.
Yeah. They were smashing them with nails on the head because some pastor said.
Right.
Yeah.
Terrible.
But the pastor was always prophesying against the children of the poor. Mm-hmm. The pastor never said you could touch the children of the governor. So now what did Akwa Ibom come together to do? Akwa Ibom came together and said, look, primary, secondary education, public school is compulsory. Free.
And compare.
So you cannot go to church in the morning to pray. Go to school. You cannot hawk, articles in traffic in the morning. Go to school. Okay, so that took away that space, reduced the abuse very seriously.
Serious abuse.
Yeah, serious abuse. Now you may also know that in Edo State, the Benis were tagged as Italy women.
Yeah, foreign prostitutes.
Foreign prostitutes. They go there, they sell themselves and bring money back home. Nobody. After a while, to solve this problem, the Oba had to step in. The local institutions had to step in to denounce this. So they were able to put a lid on it and begin to say, this is not good, this is not good, this is not good. Okay. In Igbo land, sometimes you talk about baby factories.
Yeah,
baby factories.
Exactly. Still there?
But they're trying
to
bring
it in.
To do this. So when you have in northern Nigeria Almajaris, 5 years, 10 years being street children, 20 years from them, what are they going to be? Bandits. That's what I'm going to be. So we have to pull together. We have to pull together. Nobody is saying leave Islam. Nobody is saying leave Christianity. No. But what kind of God allows you to form this kit to be Almajaris, age 5, age 10, 20 years from they grew up in the street. They are rough. They are brutal. It's easy to conscript them into anything. Headsmen, whatever. So we have to learn to operate as a country. We've never been able to sit down and talk about a lot of things. Each time we want to do it, the politicians would be afraid. A lot of people, the country would scatter.
Okay, he also mentioned the Rwanda story. From you are one of them. From what you said, is the fear that is holding Nigeria to sit down and talk about it, and that is kind of bringing underdevelopment. Now, do you think it's possible, knowing that Nigeria is a diversified country? We have lots of cultural identities. Do you think it's something that do you think Nigeria can be together and develop?
Yes. You are a proud Igbo woman. Yes. You've heard about Biafra. Yes. And a lot of your people are interested in Biafra. Yes. But there are a lot of Igbos who don't want Biafra.
Exactly.
You're shocked.
I have so many friends.
Lots of Igbos that prefer Nigeria to Biafra.
Yes. But can they say it out in public?
They want Nigeria to be better.
They want it to be better.
But not a Biafra.
But do we think Nigeria can be better when everybody is after their own tribe?
How do you know that Biafra would be better? You see the problem?
That's another one.
Because Biafra, they don't really have lots of tribes in it. When you are not as diversified as that,
when they had
together and something.
Biafra was for 3 years.
Yes.
3 years. And I'm telling you, the terror that the crimes that Biafra committed against the minorities were worse than what Nigeria did when they came in. This is the history. Don't take it from me, it's in history books. So what is making a lot of people afraid is balkanization. That now the Igbos would say, I want my own. The Yoruba say, I want my own.
Yes.
The North say, I want my own. So there's that fear. This is what I'm telling you about the fear.
Okay.
But if we develop, and we stop corruption, see what Governor Oti is doing in Abia State. You've heard about it.
Yeah.
Everybody's happy.
Okay. You've boldly told the story of the New York, my village. You've boldly told your own side of Biafra.
Yeah.
Then it now made me to ask, are there other stories that you think you are still scared of telling? Other stories that that you are afraid that, can I tell this story very well? Like, you're afraid of telling people.
Yes. One example.
Okay, yes.
I don't want to write about myself yet.
Okay.
I want to cover myself. I don't want to put myself out there.
You're still developing story.
If you have to write about your memoir, I'm not the kind of person who will write and say, "Oh, I was a wonderful person," and which is what many people are doing. You finish the memoir, you don't know who this person is. What did I do wrong? What are my flaws?
Okay.
Nobody is perfect. Okay, if I had to write about myself, I would have to open up and say a lot of things. Okay, it would not only be about me, because I came from a family, a village. So what would I say about some of the people who are very dear to me and make mistakes in life? You cannot hide. So you see how. So you ask me stories I'm afraid of. This would be an example.
Okay, you are teaching in US.
Yes.
As creative, you are teaching creative writing.
Creative writing. I teach at the University of Florida, Gainesville. Okay. I teach fiction. fiction workshops. Yeah.
Okay. And you also tell them about African stories, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They've read my books, and they come with their own stories.
Okay, I want to ask, which advice can you give Africans, young African writers, on how to go about telling the hard truths about Africa or Nigeria? Which advice can you give African writers?
A very good question. To the young, I say work on your worldview.
Okay.
The worldview, the university, the education you've had so far has helped that worldview. You have studied, you have read many books. At the university, you met people from diverse backgrounds. Okay. Learn not to be judgmental, to be accepting, to be accommodating. That's part of helping your worldview. And reading, studying literature and history and all these humanity courses were meant to enlarge your worldview. Okay, so invest in that, because your writing will only stand on your world view. Otherwise, you're going to write things that this man hates women, or this Yoruba man hates the Igbos. You see, so you have to learn to enlarge your world view and look for balance. Beside this, you have to really say to yourself, do I want to be a creative writer?
Okay.
Do I really want it? Because it's going to cost you a lot. You're going to sacrifice a lot. You may need 2-day jobs to feed yourselves, to survive while you write on the side. So it's a question you have to ask. It's not the only thing Nigerian youths can do. We are very talented, gifted. The problem is the environment has failed us, failed our children. Our children are top. That's why when Nigerians go outside, they do very well. So the problem is not the young. Not everyone can be a Davido or Rema or Tiwa Savage. And
Uwem Akpan.
Yeah. So you have to see what you really want to do. Put yourself in, be committed to it, work very hard. Don't be cynical. You have a lot of reasons to be cynical, and say, what am I doing this? No, bite in and stay focused and see where that takes you.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much for this wonderful, reflective, and rich episode. We are very grateful to have you.
Thank you.
This podcast.
You were wonderful.
Uchechukwu. So before we round up, I don't know if you have any other thing to add before we round up today's episode.
Okay, it's to say, taking a cue from the last thing he said.
Okay.
Young people need to believe in themselves. Young people need to believe in themselves. They need to stay focused. Yes, the country may not be where it is supposed to be at the moment.
Yeah.
But in spite of that, we produce young people like they mentioned Davido, like Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, like Chigozie Obioma, like Tony Khan, like Tade Badiola, who is a writer in this city who won a major prize about 2013, like Sevi Badamoshi, who is a young publisher, also in this town, and something like that. They believe in themselves. They didn't think that jackpine was the solution to their... I'm not faulting jackpine by any means. If you can do it legally, properly, no problem. But don't go and cross the Sahara Desert or the Mediterranean Sea just because you want to, cross to Europe. That's dangerous. So study, read, broaden your mind, listen to good advice. Don't go the way of drugs. It ruins lives. There are no two ways about it. Attach yourself to somebody to mentor you. in the area that you want to excel in. Volunteer to do some things. You can volunteer to teach in a school for free. You may think you're wasting your time, your energy, but somebody will see you and say, oh, hey, come, let's do this because of this volunteerism spirit. It helps, So that's what I'd like to say to young people and for our elders too, to fix our country. Those who are in charge, they should not ruin the country. They should build it for the young people so they can stay here and not need to go through illegal routes just because they want to escape what they consider to be the hell that Nigeria supposedly is. We can build a better country out of this country, better than Rwanda.
Okay, thank you so much. What both of you said today is that as young writers, we need to be reading. We need to learn from our mentors. We need to keep at it, be focused. And so we'll get there someday. We'll be like you. I'll be like Uwem Akpan. Thank you so much for this episode.
Thank you.
Also, we also thank our listeners for staying true to this extent. So that you must have learned one or two from this episode. Me, I've learned a lot. I've been surprised throughout the episode. I've been learning over and over again. So I am very, very honored to be part of this episode. Thank you for honoring and bearing out your mind.
Thank you.
Thank you
so much.
Okay.
Thank you.
Beyond the Pages podcast is sponsored by Accessible Publishers Limited, and we are online. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube as Accessible Publishers Limited. We also have our website, www.accessiblepublisherslimited.com. You can check out our array of books. We have book for everyone, for any age bracket. Thank you for listening to Beyond the Pages podcast. Till next time.
Bye.